What's up, guys, and welcome back to the infamous project. This episode is going to be a little bit of a recap slash update on two cars that you would have seen on some previous episodes.
So I was in here and I found this hillbilly chicken wire newspaper meth lab nonsense going on.
And then actually a little bit of an introduction to a new car that you wouldn't have seen yet. 93 GT. This car is actually a pretty cool car. It's like the definition of the late 90s, early 2000s.
Hey guys, what's up? Andrew here at the Infamous Project, and I am wrapping up my first week with Chris. Some of you guys may know me from Make It Loud Exhaust. You know that my expertise is exhaust, metal fab. I am a mechanic, but I have not done this much wrenching in a long time. So this week I have had this gray GT over here. It is a GT Cobra, as I have learned from Chris, a Canadian Cobra, not a real Cobra. They were badged that way for some intellectual property reason. So I've been working on this car all week and we have been tearing it down. Let me go ahead and flip you around here. Got the timing cover off, water pump, all the accessory drive, intake manifold, headers, motor mounts, drive shaft is out. The diff is open. Gosh, we've got this whole pile of table here. Everything on this table is off the car. So we have done that, and that's mostly been what we've been doing this week. And that has been good fun, but now we need to clean up a lot of these parts. Not all of them will go back on. We do have a lot of replacement parts for whatever is crusty, rusty, and dusty, and we will put some new stuff on there. But yeah, so far so good. So I was in here and I found this hillbilly chicken wire newspaper meth lab nonsense going on. This is all a patch. Somebody patched this wrong and then bondoed over it and then put this fake floor mat, knockoff kill mat stuff on there. So it's just like this giant gooey mess, and we're chipping it up and see if that patch is savable. It probably is. Grind it down and fix whatever they didn't do right, hopefully.
So the first car is the 1988 Mustang GT Canadian Cobra car. And this car came in just for a basic overview. Owner recently picked it up down here in Texas area, and he wanted us to go through the car, take a look, see what it needed. And it actually needed quite a bit, but like nothing that's unrealistic or unwarranted with, it's approaching the, 55K original mile mark, if you will. So things looked really clean, right, when we took the diff cover off to do a set of 355s in there and everything else, but things like lower intake manifold gaskets, timing cover gaskets, water pump had never been changed. And while it was a great opportunity for Andrew here to get his hands dirty, and he's about, 2.5 weeks in here now? Yeah, so he's actually got what, I don't know if we'll call it Andrew Cam.
All right, a little bit of update on the gray Foxbody. We're back at it this morning. We've got a lot of stuff disassembled already. The radiator's out front, serpentine belt assembly's out, all the accessory drive, intake manifold. Next, pull the drive shaft out because this is going to get gears. Yesterday I pulled the rear cover on this guy, went ahead and drained it. It's been sitting overnight. We've got a few more list items, more disassembly before stuff can go back on. Manifolds are off. This car is getting headers. Yeah, so stay tuned, more stuff coming.
Well, we got some miscellaneous footage kind of throughout the process. Nothing too much in detail. Some of this work is dirty and monotonous, but a great opportunity for Andrew to really immerse himself with these cars and get an understanding of where the nut and bolts go and everything else. And for him to come up with his own flow and way of doing things and being organized, because we all do things differently. Oh man, interrupting poor Andrew's trying to listen to his AC/DC, and I gotta shut it off so we can get an update here.
Yeah.
So how'd the timing cover come?
It came off pretty good.
All right.
Nasty, lot of grease, but I mean, really, this car, it's not that bad, man. Everything's coming apart pretty easy.
We actually still have some factory paint. Factory paint on the block and the head still.
So I feel like someone drove this and like just never touched it. Like it just had this case of
change
like
the oil,
grease and stuff on it. That just preserves the whole engine, you know. Nothing really got rusty because it was just caked in so much like road debris and grease, you know.
And like the oil pump's not even stained. Like normally they'll get like this, they'll be brown. And usually it's just like this staining of like old oil sludge and everything else that's in there. But man, the pickup tube is like shiny still. So we're not even going to bother changing the pump out. You know, the mileage isn't high on this motor. And sometimes you got to make these critical decisions, guys, because like you'll go down this rabbit hole of, you know, oh, do I put a new timing chain and do all this shit? Oh, I might as well throw a cam in. Oh, I'm doing a cam. Let's do the heads. And then it just snowballs. So you got to keep in mind, this is a driver car. You know what I mean? He's going to be just enjoying this car and he wants it right and reliable. So we're just doing the basics and everything that we know that actually need to be swapped. So, all right, just some cleanup here. Got motor mounts are apparently loose, so be able to kind of lift the motor up. Hopefully we'll be able to sneak the pan out. That way it'll be easier to do the pan gasket and get any possible debris or whatever. Because guys, it doesn't matter how hard you try. You know, I mean, at the end of the day,
that's got to come off and get dumped out.
Yeah, like once you take that timing cover off, some stuff's going to get down in there. And yeah, like this gasket is like, sometimes they go really, really hard, right? If they, you know, when they're exposed to the elements in the air. This one's actually super, super soft. These will be our motor mounts, convertible style. Yeah. So these will be a little bit more effective and new. We don't cheap out on radiator hoses, right? Keep stuff Ford Motorcraft. This is our full gasket set, so everything that we need should be in there. I forget what else I ordered. Water pump. Again, Ford Motorcraft. So that's a good one to have. And then we got a set of 355 gears for the back. And then some other miscellaneous. I think they gave us new motor mount nuts.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, nice of them. And oh, I got a water pump bolt kit, so you don't have to reuse what I assumed we were gonna break a bolt.
Yeah.
All right, but we didn't. But anyways, we'll put some new bolts in. So he successfully got the water pump off without breaking one bolt on this setup. So not too bad for an original water pump, original timing cover, and all the gaskets. And this is sort of how much, where is the water pump? I'm curious. So because of that leak in on the radiator that we had seen, I was curious to know if there was some stop leak that might, it's actually not as bad as I thought.
I think someone probably used it at some point in time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Like that condition of the radiator and all the corrosion. But yeah, here we go. Look at all of that lovely, right? Got valve cover gasket leaking, lower intake gasket leaking, timing cover gasket probably dripping a bit. And oh, look at that. She's crusty and old. But yeah, he's getting it. So far so good. We're actually literally just buttoning up the H-pipe, which may or may not have its factory internals inside now. Not that it matters in Texas, but yeah. So like I said, service the diff, we service the transmission, new transmission mount, new motor mounts. O2 sensors ended up being sacrificial when we removed the guts, so those got updated. And oil pan gasket, timing cover gasket, water pump gasket, new hoses, new radiator, all of the things. Fixed the return line on the power steering that was dripping, causing leaks everywhere up here in the front. New struts, new shocks, or new to the car shocks, I should say. Had a nice set of white bodied KYBs donated to the cause. The Flowmasters were already on the car when it showed up. He had already done the basics, fuel filter, plugs, plug wires, so we did not touch any of that. But the car now should be pretty mechanically in tune and ready for enjoyment without any worries and no leaks, and a little bit more fun. The 355s are going to add a little bit of fun value, and the sound that we'll have with...
it should definitely. It's got the shorty headers on there now.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. We did headers. So. Yeah, removed some of the pollution stuff. The pump's still on it, but we got rid of the tube going up to that line that goes across the back of the heads and all that stuff.
Be a little more rowdy. It should
sound for sure.
Cool and be fun. Yeah.
So that's the update on this car. Once we get it back down on the ground, we'll adjust the timing, check the fluids, top everything off, make sure it's doing everything that it should. We didn't miss anything. So that's the update on that car. I guess I'll come out here. I know Andrew's got some good footage of what's going on with the Bimini Notch here. And if you guys didn't see the video, make sure you go check it out. Right, beautiful looking car. Right, lots of money spent on the paint work, but if you guys remember on the underside, I was a little suspect of what we might find where they did some patchwork over there. So let's have a look. So here is the nastiness. I don't know. It's like they used some sort of silicone or something that they put down after they welded things up, and they definitely trapped moisture in the car. And we found, right, holes like that. You guys would have already seen the hole in the spare tire well that needs to be addressed. So we're gonna, a lot of this is surface and scale. It's not horrible, but there were actual issues right here. There's probably going to be some issues maybe right there. Nothing that we can't handle at this point. Pretty sure forward facing on the car is fine based on what we saw, but definitely there was water that came in, probably from leaky seals or whatever it might have been, and it pooled in there, and they did not do a good job whatsoever at trying to repair this or get rid of things, or like they left it wet and still decided to put some faux kill mat down to cover it up. But we will get this car right as we can get it. If you remember, right, holes up in here, so we're going to try and cut stuff out, and we're going to have to do some rust converter and patching from the inside, because otherwise the only other real proper way to fix this would be cutting into the quarter panel, which we don't want to. The paint's nice, so we're going to try and preserve this car as much as we can with what we've got. And again, why do you invest this much in body and paint and you don't fix the fundamental issues? Shame on you. All right, last but not least, 93 GT. This car is actually a pretty cool car. It's like the definition of the late 90s, early 2000s in terms of its appearance, right? And the modifications, the cowl hood, the Celine wing. Oddly enough, this is a Celine wing for a notch that they mounted on a hatch, which, it's pretty much splitting apart. It's seen better days. But I wonder what Tom, aka War Admiral, would think about this, because it's actually, the notch wing on a hatch is kind of not as obnoxious, if you will. But, I think it looks the part. We got the Cobra rear bumper cover. I think it's got the Cobra grill insert. No, it doesn't. But we got a Carter's Custom splitter kit coming for the car, and similar on the inside. Door's locked. This is a cool color, by the way. It's sort of like teal and reef mixed together. It's probably like the best. Oh, the car's totally locked up. Anyways, well, you know what? Maybe this car deserves its own video. I'm going to leave you guys hanging, because there's a couple gremlins that are hiding in here. And mechanically, this car is actually pretty good. It just needs a couple finessing touches, and that's why the car is here. So you guys might notice there's a couple cars here that really needed some attention. and some love based on what you're seeing. And it's not always the theme. I really don't like the dirty rust work or the oily old nasty stuff, but a couple of things. Number one, these guys are all local to me. We got San Antonio, we got Austin, or just north of Austin, and then the GT is up in the DFW area. So I love to help out the guys that are local to me when I can. And this is also a great learning experience for Andrew. Like, there's nothing better than deep diving into the traditional average Fox isms, if you will, right? To help him learn and get a really good understanding of what's going on. And so far so good. You know, he's with his welding knowledge of having his exhaust shop and doing some fab stuff, the rust isn't scaring him, which is great, because coming from Canada, I'm done with rust. I really don't want to deal with it. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'll be throwing in some footage here and there of what, you know, how Andrew has gone through and removed some stuff and uncovered some stuff. And we'll just kind of, like I said, make a little bit of an update video, if you will. Once we knock out these few things, nothing but Godzilla swapping time.
Everybody knows half the fun of working on cars is shop shenanigans. I'll just leave this right here for Chris.